James doesn't ever talk to me unless we're streaming. It's a really weird dynamic our friendship has.
Yeah, don't say that. So YouTube comments. Colby Hamill said Leonard.
Wait, Colby or Landon?
Colby Hamill said Leonard.
Leonard.
He said Leonard.
I don't
know who Leonard is.
I don't know what he
is. That the
means
guy?
by
Is that the fat black guy that stole his identity?
It might be. How do you know about that?
Because he told me. I saw him and he was like, "Yeah, this guy stole my identity. I'm pressing criminal charge."
This is his way of getting back at him.
Yeah.
He thinks by commenting he's stealing his identity.
Yes, he thinks that for real.
He's like Leonard.
Leonard again. Okay, and so for someone named Kendra, she said, "You guys should kiss." Not yet. We gotta get to like 50 episodes. We get a kiss on the line.
Yeah. No.
Chick-fil-A sandwich or chicken tender pub sub? That's a great question. What do you think?
Oh, that is a good question.
Okay, I would say Chick-fil-A sandwich for me. I prefer other kinds of subs.
I would go Chick-fil-A sandwich too.
When I want chicken in a sandwich, I want a chicken sandwich. When I want a sub, I want like a turkey sub with like oil and vinegar and like
oregano.
Yeah, like I want it done up right. And like the chicken is like, the chicken's the star of the pub sub. And the pub sub's great. It's a great sandwich. It's great when you get it tossed in the
salad.
When in the hot sauce, you make like a buffalo chicken thing.
Yeah.
So there was a commercial that Publix used to do.
Okay.
I want to tell you something. The Publix did completely false advertising of a service they never offered. They made a commercial where this guy was like, there was like these guys in an office and they're like building a sub. They're like, okay, chicken tenders tossed in hot sauce, blue cheese crumbles on the sandwich, lettuce, tomato, onion, mayo. And they're like, that's great. And then they go to the store and they pick up their sandwich. That's the whole thing. And it shows like the Publix employee going to the cooler, getting a container of blue cheese and putting it on the sandwich. And it's like the Publix deli will, like the implication being the Publix deli will go into the store and get ingredients that they don't put on sandwiches and put it on the sandwich if you order that. But I worked at a Publix and I asked that and they were like, we don't fucking do that.
Like, no, that's fake.
That's fake news. Okay, more questions.
That's really funny.
$5 Publix sushi or Chick-fil-A waffle fries? That's a great question. Have you ever had the $5 Publix sushi?
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, dude. Every Wednesday Publix has $5 sushi. I would say Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
Yeah, same.
Because of sushi sucks.
It's not good. I've had it many times, and like one time it's been like, this is okay.
Okay, so here's our question on Twitch also. Someone named Sawyer Smoothie said, did you guys see the border statistics of the illegal immigrants allowed into the country? 14,000 were convicted murderers, 16,000 were convicted rapists, 150,000 were convicted criminals, and even worse, 6 of them were Italian. Sawyer Smoothie, you're our #1 fan. You're our best fan in the chat.
We're going to send you some merch.
We're going to send you some merch. It's a PNG file of the logo I use on the show. We should do merch.
It's the keychain you had on your table, like little keychains.
It says 1073 The Eagle.
He's like, yes. Or she.
Okay, so I'm just going to wrap up the job thing, and then I have a couple other things I want to talk about, then we can get out of here. I want to say, so I had a legendary horrible run of jobs. They sucked. I had bad jobs. We're on, right? Is it on? Yeah, we're on. I had a legendary bad run of jobs. Just bad jobs, shitty jobs, people that didn't really, like, I don't know, man. Like, people who just don't know what it's, like, they became a manager on accident, and they hate their lives, and they don't know how to act. They have no interest in, like, managing a crew of people. They don't give a fuck. And, like, I wouldn't either if I was, like, 28 years old living in New York City, just want to fucking drink and party every night. Like, I get it. But, like, don't do this job. Like, just be a waiter. Don't manage waiters.
Right.
Like, and I think that was a big, I mean, I learned a lot of shit doing those jobs. And this is an important episode. We talked about it in our little break that, like, this is not really, like, balls to the wall trying to be funny and goofy. We are kind of learning about each other and revealing some things about our lives. But I've had way too many jobs. That is something I'm learning right now. And in 2024, I started out the year, I worked at a diner in New York. It was a brand new diner. It was like styled like a diner, but it had like fine dining, kind of very high quality food. And so it was kind of like, come to a diner, but eat like a king kind of thing.
Oh, that's
like,
interesting.
And it was great. It was owned by...
It's just Chick-fil-A sandwiches and waffle fries.
It's just Publix $5 sushi. How'd you guys get this in New York? It's so old.
They ship it from Florida.
You didn't put ice in the box. It's just got worms on it. But no, I mean, so I worked at that diner. It's called Montague Diner. Loved it. Great job. Paid great. Great management. Great people I met there. And it just, you're just like, I'm a waiter. Like, okay. Like and it's that the job was very well organized, very well run by people who were very good at running restaurants. And I had given up.
So you got like a good job finally of like people that actually care, and you're like, nah.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't live in New York anymore.
Yeah.
It's too much money. I'm running around. My days are full, and I'm not even filling them up. Like the commute to work, the commute home, doing laundry takes 7 hours. Like everything just took so fucking
Also,
long.
the people got to know that with all these jobs in New York, you're also like doing show after show and like staying out late and like doing open mics and doing your own shows. Like, yeah. So you're a busy boy. This wasn't like you had a job and then you would hang out with your girlfriend. This is like you had a job and you're like pursuing a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. I was trying to be a comedian. I worked at a radio station trying to get stuff through that. It was fun. It was a great experience. It just burns you out. It'll burn anyone out. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just hit a ceiling and enough times and my head's going to break. I'm over it. I don't want to keep doing that. So, over time, I just got a little bit bored of it. I got a little bit sick of it. I moved to Florida. I was desperate in the radio station to get to a position where I could be an actual on-air talent. And now I live in Tampa Bay, Florida. I'm an executive producer for a sports radio station. I'm on the air every day working with 2 great guys. It's a great time. It's a great show. And it's great. I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, radio's radio. There's problems and fundamentally throughout the industry. Like, there's always going to be issues in every job.
Sure.
But I like it now. It's cool. It's what I always dreamed about when I was in high school, when I was in college, and now...
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, 10 years later, I finally get to do it. It's like, this is really cool. And it's like kind of like a nice little cap. I don't know what's going to happen next. I think I'll do a bunch of weird different things and then retire and take care of goats and chickens and...
Classic.
Do some other weird
pour
shit.
Milk down your pants. Well, with goats, you can just directly milk them right in your pants.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I got my own cheese down there, though.
Doesn't hurt to add a little bit more. Doesn't
hurt to have a little bit more. I'm Caleb Kravitz from CBS
signing
News.
out. I disappear slowly. Yeah, through the roof.
But yeah, dude. I mean, you kind of probably feel the same way. It's like work is work. You do your best, but I think as you get older, you learn stuff. And like I talked about, like Cheryl at Starbucks telling me, like,
hot
nobody
take.
cares, and like hot take. As you get older, you learn stuff. Well, you just figure yourself out, and you go like, okay, I'm not gonna be a dick at work. Like everyone hates their job. You just learn stuff through all the jobs, and like it's just like I'm just the guy I am now, man.
Yeah, I think a big thing I've learned with all my job experience is like to stick up for yourself for sure.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, with past jobs, like a manager would say something, and I'd be like, oh, okay, like, I don't know, I don't know how to act this, but like, I actually have a pretty good relationship with my current boss. If he ever sees this, what's up, Cole? Where like,
what up, Leonard?
What up, Leonard? Where I just like talk back to him. I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Like no, I don't think that would work, or like whatever. And it's like, oh, like how about this? And like that's I absolutely like didn't get there from like waking up and just like thinking I'm gonna do that. It took like years of like, it's like going through the shit to be like, oh well, I'm just gonna stand up for myself.
Yeah,
like that's.
It's like someone can tell you something, but until you experience it yourself, it's hard to enact in your life.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
like someone tells you like a cliche, and you're like, well, I don't know how to implement that. And then it happens, and you're like, oh, I guess that's why it's a cliche, because it's the most true thing that could be said about something. Like, I don't know. It's just interesting, man. Like, jobs kind of form you. This is just the life we live, Like, I wish my life could be. I could go through that list of all the stand-up shows and little projects I produced. And you could go through a list of all the music projects you've worked on, some that you put out, some that you didn't. Same with me, like stuff that worked, stuff that didn't. And it's like, I feel more defined by I feel more in tune with my jobs and my identity as someone who's worked a lot of jobs, worked a lot of shitty jobs, worked as like a working class person who's not. I'm not in the management class. I'm not someone who just goes to an office every day and answers emails. Like, I've never had that experience.
Right.
And like, I think that definitely it helps you relate to people, dude. You see a fucking plumber, you're like, I'm not a plumber, but I know what it's like to do a fucking shitty outdoor job.
Yeah.
Like, or you just relate to people more. I mean, you work in a fucking warehouse. Like, it's hot. It sucks.
So hot, dude. Yeah. I have to drink like liquid IV like every day during the summer, or I will die.
Yeah.
Like it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you learn stuff, and you learn that like, I mean, like politically, it's like when I was in college, it's like easy to believe things politically, and then you go through like work stuff, and you're like, oh, like I can see why people feel X, Y, and Z. I can see why this, and this. Like I was like listening to a podcast, and they were talking about like the disappearance of like the middle class, and like where's the middle class going, and like all this stuff, and it's like, dude, like I don't know, man, like. I thought I had it made. Like I thought I was gonna get out of college, I'd write for BuzzFeed or some bullshit, like get way more money than I ever deserved, and just
10 cats you would love to have. They're all Angelina.
Exactly.
They're all Angelina Jolie's cats, like all 10.
Does she have 10 cats?
I don't know.
10 cats. You live Angelina Jolie's first cat. Angelina. I don't name them.
You want these cats, don't you? Well, you can't have them.
I don't write anything specific about the cats. The pictures of the cats have Getty images like watermarked over
It's
it.
so clear it's
just
not our cats.
man. It's just not our cats. I don't know, man. Like, there's nothing that unites people more. Going back to even your thing with the putting a bunch of signs up in the warehouse. Like, nothing unites people more than shitty jobs. Shitty jobs unite people. They keep people together. They keep people engaged with each other. And we can all relate about that stuff. And you know what's hard to relate to? Someone who has a bullshit-ass email job. Someone who doesn't have to be someone who's never been a waiter or never worked at like a drive-thru, never worked like a job that sucks. Like, I wish I could. I wish I could see these people. Of course, I have friends like this, and I'm fine. I'm not a crazy weirdo. But when we get down to brass tacks and talking about stuff, and you're sitting in New York City with people who work jobs you would dream of working in your life, and they're talking about like Trump supporters, they're talking about stupid people in the Midwest, they're talking about X, Y, and Z. It's like, you went out of college and have worked the same job for 8 years. Where all you do is answer 5 emails and print something out. Like,
and like yell at a guy.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like, you don't know what it's like to like.
Right.
I mean, there's like pretentious douchebag alert, but there's a David Foster Wallace. He made a speech at a college, and the speech is called "This Is Water," and it's a very famous speech because he talks about how you're leaving college and you think that the worst parts of life are like all these like weird, like, he doesn't say this explicitly, but I'm like extrapolating on it. But he talks about how, like, you know, you get out of your job and you're waiting in the grocery line and you like hate the woman in front of you because she's taking too long, or the car that's next to you and cuts you off and has a big stupid Hummer. But you don't know these people. Like, that guy's driving a Hummer because 2 people in his family died in a car accident. He's terrified to drive anything smaller than that. And the woman in front of you is like taking care of her husband who's terminally ill, and she has 2 kids and she's like miserable. Like, you don't know people's stories. So like, to truly know someone else's experience, you don't have to experience it, but his speech is going to into an elite school, like a private school. All these like rich idiots who will never have to do that. But he's going like, this is what life is like. And something he says that I always think every day is like, you don't know what it's like to work the same job every day for years on end. You don't know what it's like to do monotony, the same thing every day. When you're in college, your classes are different every day. They're teaching you something different every day. If you go to a stupid job, you work 5 hours after class and you get your money and you go home. But if it's all you do and you work 9 to 5 and you do the same job every day for years.
And if you don't do that, then your life falls apart. Because 80% of those people it's paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to know.
Yeah.
You're like elitist, like private school people.
Yeah. You don't know. You don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like to not people don't take vacations.
Right.
People have one streaming service. Like, these people who watch everything and go to the movies. Some people go out to eat once a month, go to the movies once a month because all they can afford.
Right.
Like, people just I think there's a lot of disconnection in this country. People just don't understand what it's like to be a fucking real worker. And like, and also to be in America, you're not working in factories. 99.9% of us aren't doing real fucking work anymore.
Right.
Most of us do like weird jobs. Like, you work a real job that like has real purpose. What do? I fucking go behind this board and I go boop boop boop. The Tampa Bay Bucks boop boop boop. Like, it's like a made up. Explain that job 2 generations back to my great grandpa. He's like, you work for the what? You work? Yeah, there must be the richest guy in the world. Like, these jobs that we all work now are the most elite jobs 70 years ago. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, working in a warehouse is like, you're a warehouse manager. You would be like 65 years old retiring as a warehouse manager.
No,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, so it sucks all around, man. It's like,
well, I think you're pointing out a really good thing that like, how it was 60 years ago. Like, yeah, you could be a warehouse manager and like have a wife that doesn't work and 3 kids and have a beautiful home.
Yes.
But now it's like, also
you live
like,
in the hood and you have Like, I'm not saying, but like,
No, yeah.
you don't have like a white picket fence house.
No.
Like, you're doing great. You're the only person I know that owns a house, and it's
Barely.
like, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to put you on blast like that, but it's like it's hard for you to own a house.
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah. No, it fucking sucks actually. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's just how like I mean, I don't know how deep you want to get in this, but how like America is going, where people are just getting paid. I mean, you see the graphs of like. Here's wages,
I've
and
seen
here's
the
the.
graphs.
Oh,
You don't know the graphs.
You're talking to a
You
graph
don't know the
guy.
graphs I've seen, motherfucker.
You're Kanye. You don't understand the graphs. But yeah, it's like wages
And
have
you're that
stayed.
guy with the big hat.
Sway.
Sway
Yeah,
has the
yeah,
big hat.
yeah, yeah.
His hair's in it, but it's a big hat.
It's a big hat. It's a weird hat too.
You
Like,
should wear that
can't-
hat
you,
next time.
you can't buy that hat.
You don't got the graphs, Sway.
You don't got the
You cannot buy
It's
that
like,
hat.
well, it's on Google. Like, I have the graphs, Kanye. Yeah, but like wages have like barely, they're like steadily going up a little bit, but then cost of living has just been rising like at an exponential rate, and it's the wages are not keeping up. And a job you would have, like your job, 50 years ago,
My job,
You would have been the
10
king.
years ago, would
Yeah.
have paid full time.
right?
I'm a part-time employee. Like, that's what I
Yeah.
did. Like, that's
Absolutely.
It's crazy,
But the people
man.
that own those companies have been living the same, if not way better,
Yeah.
than they were 10, 15, 20 years ago.
yeah.
Just how it goes.
Everything gets sent overseas. Everything gets
Organize.
organized. We're gonna do a boy time union. It's a generalized union. Anyone who works a job where you don't send emails can join our union. You have to prove you don't have an email address.
Oh, fuck, I have an email.
You
address.
have to call
I don't
us.
use it, I promise. Call us at 1-800-STEVE.
Okay, so our union phone number is 1-800-STEVE. And we should make the phone number 1-800-STEVE.
I feel like, how many E's are there? At least like 8.
8 E's. It's the longest phone number in history.
That's funny.
How'd you made out all right in the hurricane? A big hurricane hit Florida, folks.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that at all.
I know.
I made out perfectly fine.
I made out
which
with
I
my
kind of feel
girlfriend.
I kind of feel guilty about because I have like very close friends that got absolutely fucked.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Michaela was sending me a video. It's like the couch was here and now it's way over there. And
It
it's like,
just-
dude, it sucks. Her bed underwater. Her records are gone. Jewelry's gone. Like, that sucks.
Really sucks,
Like,
man.
oh man, I can't imagine.
Shit like that is just horrible. It just sucks, man. And like people, and again, going back to like depressing stuff, it's just gonna get worse. It's just as we get older, the storms will get bigger, the planet will get warmer, and like nobody wants to talk about it. But I
Here
saw
we
a guy
are.
we went to high school. I went to high school with on Facebook posted a post and it said it was kind of funny because it was like you can believe in climate change or not, but your insurance companies definitely do.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's like they don't
100%.
care. They're just gonna keep going up and up and up.
Yep. Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, the hurricane sucked, man. I mean, I made out completely fine. I lost sewage, so I had to like go shit in a bush. But I was fine.
You're shitting in a bush while pouring milk down.
Okay. We can just end on this, I think, because we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes now.
Oh wow.
What do you think about scooters? And what do you think about? Let me know if you've seen this. Guys keep buying these like. Why are you laughing so hard? Like we're talking about labor, and then I'm asking you about scooters.
You're like, what do you think about scooters? It sounded like a full stop.
And have you seen these guys? They're all over St. Pete, and I've seen a couple in Tampa. They keep buying these like teeny little cars from Asia, like little tiny like toy trucks that they drive around. They're like the size of golf carts.
Yeah.
I want to know what you think about that.
Okay, this was not planned. Just so everyone knows, this is the
None
first
of
time
this
I'm
was
hearing this
planned.
question.
Why would I feed you that question?
Well,
Hey,
because it
I'm gonna
leaked.
let you know-
It
it
leaked.
leaked.
That same girl that leaked the questions leaked it to me.
I think her name was Amanda.
I have actually
find
done
her.
extensive research on how to buy one of those.
The little car.
Yes,
You want one?
I want one because they're pretty cheap. It's kind of because they're like
The shipping's probably most of the money.
right. They're technically like you're not allowed to buy them in the United States. Like the companies that like make those, they're like 50 grand.
Yeah.
But the ones that like you see on the road, yeah, it's like weird like Japanese like shipments that like I think to buy one of those, it's like sale price $1,500. Like they're super cheap.
Yeah.
But it's getting them over here that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably at least $3,000 to get it shipped here.
Dude, Imagine driving a cool little Tonka truck for 45 hundo.
Only issue is your steering wheel is on the opposite side.
Is it really?
Yeah, because it's made in
Oh, I
Asia.
didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Not interested.
You're out?
I'm out.
All right.
I'm American.
That would
till
throw
I
me off.
die.
Maybe not as bad as I think it would.
No, you get used to it.
Yeah.
But the steering wheel's on the other side, and you also have to drive on the other side of the road.
Oh,
That's the condition.
Oh, yeah! Zoinks!
It was $1,500, but I'm always getting in wrecks.
All right, man. If you get that, can we, like, put a Boy Time bumper sticker on it?
If I get that, we can put it in my house and do boy time in it.
Okay, if you get one of the little things, here's what we're going to do. We're
right.
going to put a table in the back and show up at random parking lots. And we're going to advertise Boy Time live. Yeah. And we're going to just do Boy Time from your weird little truck.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect idea.
It's a perfect idea. It's
I've
a
never had an
perfect
idea
concept.
better than that.
Write it down. It's literally documented on the internet.
Oh, I have one more question to ask you.
I can't wait.
You got in trouble this week.
I did?
Yeah, you wore a woman's clothes. I didn't think you didn't think you were gonna get out of this podcast not talking about that.
Oh, yeah.
So you dog sat for our friend.
Oh, my God.
He's so
Why
embarrassed.
you gotta bring this up? First of all, it's not women's clothes. It looks appropriate on me. I'm not like walking around in a
Okay,
dress.
it's a sweatpants and a crop top.
All right,
it's
all
not.
right.
It's not like a fucking man shirt and a fucking man pant. It's not workman's jeans and a fucking oversized tee.
I just want to say I'm not wearing a dress pouring milk down my blouse.
Back to the milk with you, man. You love milk.
I love it. No, continue.
Okay, so you dog sat for someone, and you're like, "Oh, I'm so uncomfortable in the clothes I own. Like, let me take off my clothes." And you snuck, and you took the person whose dog you were watching's pants,
Yep.
and a crop top shirt.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yes,
because
it
you
was.
did get in trouble.
You know why it was worth it? Because that's the only clothes that got saved during the hurricane.
Thank you for watching Boy Time.